Guys, economists warned us, analysts and other experts warned us, and even President Trump himself warned us, right? They all said the same thing very clearly. It was going to get worse before it got better. Well, as of this weekend, we're inside the downturn that everybody warned us about. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what's happening with mass layoffs, the federal government shutdown, and the Fed, and what all this means for you and your family financially right now. Now, let's start with the center of this downturn, and that's jobs. October was one of the worst months for layoff announcements that we've seen in years. According to a number of reports, employers announced over 153,000 job cuts in October alone. And year to date, January through October, we're now over 1.09 million layoffs announced in America. That isn't just speculation. That's the facts of what's actually happening right now. And the kicker is this, guys, it's not concentrated in just one industry. These layoffs are happening across the board. Three major companies that every American knows have now shifted into full-blown cost-cutting mode. Amazon, for example, announced up to 30,000 corporate layoffs over restructuring and what they called AI efficiency. Then you had UPS cutting full-time delivery routes and consolidating some of their operations due to lower shipping volume. And then you had Paramount, who was preparing to lay off a couple of thousand U.S. jobs as part of their post-merger restructuring that they recently went through, right? Those are not small companies. Those are companies that move the economy. When these companies start cutting jobs, that's a sign for all of us that corporate America is starting to position itself for a slower economy. And the thing about corporate America that you got to know is corporate America is always looking forward. So they're making moves today that they think is going to affect them and their bottom line profits down the road. So when you see these companies start cutting positions and cutting jobs, that's something that we need to be paying attention to as consumers, right? So these companies are preparing for lower revenue and more margin pressure on their bottom lines. This is why layoffs matter so much. When you see layoffs accelerating, Americans lose income. And when Americans lose income, consumer spending goes down. And when consumer spending goes down, you see corporate profits drop even further. And that's how the layoff crisis becomes a consumer recession, right? It trickles down. This is how this chain reaction starts. It starts with layoffs. Now, let's shift to the federal government because we got to talk about this. This matters, okay? We're in the longest shutdown in U.S. history. We're now over 5 weeks into a government shutdown. And here's the absolute truth. This is not a President Trump shutdown, okay? This is not a White House driven withholding of food stamps. Look, the White House is simply questioning right now the legality of pulling funds from other emergency funds to fund SNAP. The real issue right now, guys, with this government shutdown is Congress. This is a Congress government shutdown. Congress has not passed the funding bills, okay? Congress has not passed a clean continuing resolution or CR, or Congress has not even passed an omnibus bill, right? The omnibus bill is those big old bills where everything's thrown in. Look, Congress hasn't even been willing to negotiate and compromise with one another. Congress is the one who has not passed those 12 appropriation bills that would fund the government and open up SNAP benefits to people who need them, the 41 million Americans who actually rely on SNAP. Congress is the reason that the people who need SNAP benefits are not getting full SNAP benefits. And as of this weekend, this government shutdown is now impacting travel. Over 1,000 flights were canceled this weekend because of the impact of the shutdown. Lack of support and the strain on FAA workers, those air traffic controllers, and a lack of continuity across agencies because some are shut down that deal with air travel logistics. And there's more breaking news on this weekend. Democrats are publicly pressuring the courts, accusing the Republicans in Congress of playing politics with SNAP funding. And this comes after the courts just recently extended the pause and delayed the SNAP relief even further. And of course, you have Republicans on the other side of the aisle who are blaming Democrats for not passing continuing resolutions. This is a political disaster, right? It's a political chess match on both sides of the aisle, right? But regular Americans are caught smack dab in the middle. Regular Americans who just want to feed their family are caught in the middle of Congress not being able to come to resolutions, right? So this is not political opinion. I'm just telling you what's actually happened. This is literally the outcome of a Congress that has not done their job, not just in the last 5 weeks or more that the shutdown has gone on, but a Congress that has not done their job for the last year leading up to not being able to pass these 12 appropriation bills, right? That's just the truth. Now, let's talk about the Federal Reserve, okay? The Fed already cut rates recently, and most economists are expecting another 25 basis point from the Fed to cut the Fed funds rate in their next meeting in early December. Now, the Fed is not cutting the Fed funds rate because the economy is strong, but the Fed will potentially and likely cut the Fed funds rate again because labor is weakening. And the Fed is likely going to come out and say, hey, we're doing this cut to prevent layoffs from turning into something more tragic in terms of the economy. So this is not a we feel really good type of we have full confidence in the American economy cut. This is a Fed cut that is a let's stop the bleeding cut. Right? The Fed sees the same thing that we see. We see what? Layoffs. We see less spending. We see lower growth in the overall economy. And we also see rising credit stress. And we also see this consumer sentiment. So the American people are feeling the economic pressure. So this is the downturn that the economists, that President Trump and everybody else was warning was going to happen. They all said things are going to get worse before they get better. Well, here we are. They're getting worse. So what do, right? Let me talk to you calmly, no hype, right? Just some flat out wisdom about what we should be doing as consumers, as investors, and as American citizens who are concerned about our wallet. The first thing is make sure you're building a buffer, right? Some people are going to tell you have 3 to 6 months of emergency money. I'm going to tell you maybe you need to have more like 6 to 8 months minimum of an emergency fund just in case. If your job is a job that is more sensitive to the economy and what's going on, you might need to have 10 to 12 months of your emergency money saved up. That's just being real. Another thing you can do is still stack intentionally. The winners in downturns are the people who can monetize new skills and people who can pivot when one income stream slows down, another income stream picks up. Those are people who are flexible and have positioned themselves to make choices and decisions. So you want to be thinking about that. Also, you want to make sure you avoid any unnecessary debt right now. Okay, especially the high interest consumer debt. Credit is a trap when the economy shifts because credit and debt, what they do is they leave you with less choices that you can make. So be aware of that trap and stay out of it. Another thing you can do right now is stay invested, but be strategic with your investing, right? Stay consistent, stay disciplined, continue to dollar cost average. Don't be emotional and sell during downturns, which a lot of people do. When the stock market goes down, people start selling. Well, then you're selling low, which is not what you want to do, right? You don't want to sell during bad times. Use downturns to your investing advantage and position yourself in this new normal, right? This is not a temporary dip that we're seeing in what's happening around us. This is really, in my opinion, it's more like a structural adjustment to what's going on right now. What's the new normal? The new normal is different, and you've got to adjust and be flexible right along with it. So guys, I want you to get this one fact in your spirit, and I want you to use this to help you understand how to really make money. Downturns don't destroy wealth. Downturns transfer wealth. Okay. Now, here's the bottom line, guys. I'm not fear mongering on this video. I'm not telling you to start panicking on this video. I'm not choosing a side, Democrat, Republican, left, right on this video. Not at all. And I'm not saying the world is coming to an end on this video. I'm simply calling this moment what it really is. It's the downturn that they warned us about. We all been saying this on these YouTube videos for 2 or 3 years to get prepared, right? Here's the question for you. Are you ready for maybe mass layoffs? Are you ready for a stock market that dips and goes way down? Are you ready for some other type of economic downturn? That's the question. Now is the time to tighten up, sharpen up, Be prepared and use this chapter in our economy right now to position yourself for what's coming next. The writing is already on the wall. All you got to do is read it. Like I always say, be smart, be intentional, be proactive. Listen, I hope you got something of value out of this quick update. If this helped you understand where we really are economically, be sure to smash that like button below and share this video with someone who you think needs to hear this, right? And if you're ready to take full control of your money in this new environment, do me a favor and go to smartmoneybro.com and learn my 4 steps to maximize your money. It's the proven personal finance system that works in any economy. The best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Until the next video, peace.